what have I done? This miracle to have the most powerful women in the world together in the same time for the Women's Day. We have Mary Buffett here right now. So how about I bring you together just for some more minutes? Hi, Mary.
Hello, hi, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful to see you.
Kim was talking a lot about the way we invest the money, not just the way that, and you teach the same. So I believe, of course, you have a lot of things in common, and you both have also a passion to help and support women and train and educate women in the world of business and in the world of investment. So Kim has been like my mentor for years since I discovered her, and then I discovered you, and it's a dream come true to bring you together. So happy International Women's Day, by the way. This is incredible to celebrate together. So what is something that you were mostly resonating with Kim, Mary, when it comes to women and investment in their business and themselves?
I think the idea that saving money and what she was saying about not spending money and living within your means, I think that's really important. My feeling is I've changed my mind about what money actually means. In other words, when I think about how much something costs, I think about what that money would be compounding in 30 years. So something that's $500 is much, much more to me when I think about it. So I know usually that keeps me spending less money. It's just that I want my money to work for me and not spend it. Although there are things that I spend money on that I treat myself on because I don't believe in keeping yourself. I think we should all enjoy our money and enjoy our wealth with things that we really love.
We come from that culture that we were talking with Kim before, that we don't have our thoughts, we don't have our values only, we don't have our beliefs. We have other people's beliefs, what other people taught us, what we learned from school, from parents, from environment, and we grow up and then we just see all these limited beliefs. But women like you and Kim, you broke these beliefs very soon, very quick. You had that ability to speed and to make things happen, and you didn't wait to think, oh, I'm not sure, but you just took actions. And sometimes it takes taking risks as well. Probably I would like to ask a question for both of you. What is the biggest risk that you have taken in your life?
I think my biggest risk was really, what was it? being on my own, just being, doing exactly as I wanted, whether that was with business or with my time. I didn't really, it was, I only worked for a couple of people in my life. Other than that, it was always my own business. And that was, I think, the biggest risk that I took, is I depended upon myself to generate income and support my family. I wasn't worried. I wasn't thinking about getting a job or what, I just did things. I just did what I wanted to do, and it always brought me money.
Yeah, in your own, like Kim says, Kim has a mantra saying, a man is not a financial plan. So what does that tell to you?
I have that same saying, a man is not a plan. Because that's what
incredible. You definitely speak the same language. Kim, what was your biggest risk you have taken in life?
I'll turn it around just a little bit, because a lot of the things I do are not that risky. People think they're risky, but when it comes to investing, we say it's not the investor, it's not the investment that's risky, it's the investor, and it's the uneducated investor that's risky, doesn't know what they're doing, and they bet on hot tips. But for me, the biggest mistake I've made, and I looked at this one time, and there was a common thread through all these mistakes I made, and there was one common theme, and my biggest mistake was not trusting myself. was always saying that somebody knows more than me, and so I have to defer to that person, even though the subject is what I know, even though it is about what I do know. But for some reason, I didn't trust myself, and it got me in all sorts of problems. So there's people smarter than me in so many realms, the two of you, for example. And but the biggest mistakes I made and the biggest learnings I had and the times I lost money was when I didn't trust this. Even though I did all my homework, I did my study, I still deferred to somebody else who I thought was an expert. And we need experts, but we also need to trust ourselves. And the times when I did trust myself and I went, no, this is the way we need to go, even though everybody's saying, no, go this way. And of course I make a ton of mistakes, but those are the times where I did best.
But do we need sometimes these mistakes? Do we need to learn from these mistakes? And sometimes we encourage our clients, our students, to feel comfortable out of their comfort zone. And if they have done a mistake, that is a lesson, that is not a mistake. And I would like to know your perspective, your opinion about doing mistakes and what exactly you call a mistake, especially when you enter a business and in the world of investment, you have to take that initiative and that risk. That even if you do a mistake, you always have a plan B, C, D, and if you do a mistake, hey, move on, let it go.
Yeah, no, I think, and I'll just jump in real quick because I think that's the key to success, Mirela. That is, to me, that's the key to success. Making mistakes, make more mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and then make more mistakes. Because every time you make a mistake, you're stepping out of your comfort zone and you're learning something. And that's how we grow, and that's again how you change your being. But people come out of school so afraid of making a mistake, because in school you got punished for making a mistake. You got an F for making a mistake. You were humiliated for making a mistake. And the only way we learn is by getting out there and making a mistake and learning from it, and then we get smarter.
I couldn't agree more. I think mistakes are wonderful things to make, and I tell my children that all the time. Making a mistake is just a learning tool. It's something that you can learn from. If you learn from it, great. And if you don't, you eventually will, because if you'll make the mistake, you'll learn that it doesn't
Otherwise,
work.
we say sometimes we earn and sometimes we learn.
That's right.
And a mistake only shows you something you didn't know. That's all. It just shows you something you didn't know.
Right.
But that's why I love when I discover women like you, because if I want to learn about business, of course I learn from my mistakes, but also I want to learn from your mistakes, Kim. And if I want to learn about investment, then I discover somebody who is number one in investment, and then of course I want to learn from your mistakes, because we learn from our mistakes, but it's good. It feels better when we learn from other people's mistakes as well. So I read about you. And you don't do this mistake that I did it before. It will take you so long and it will be painful. So I want to learn from you. So what would be from both of you before we finish, because this was like a gold session. We didn't plan this. What are, let's say, the 3 mistakes that women should avoid in business from you, Kim, and 3 mistakes that women should avoid when they are entering the world of investment?